Hey Scorpios, and welcome to your December 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead as you are embarking and healing and finishing the race. It feels like that's what I feel like with your energy coming in directly, is seeing the finish line, the last leg of the difficult journey, returning home once more. You are almost in the clear, I feel like, with your energy coming directly into this month of December. You know, we're finishing 2018 now. We are getting towards the societal new year. New year energy actually comes towards March when we get back into Aries time, but for all intents and purposes, you know, we are finishing the calendar year of 2018, and you are looking back and you are really adding everything up. I feel it is a bit of a reflective time. Not too reflective. In fact, it may feel less so than it has for a while, because let's face it, you had to reflect so much throughout the duration of Jupiter in your sign. And it is just now getting placed into Sagittarius, so you are still perhaps seeing some of the effects of Jupiter in Scorpio as it is on the cusp, and it will probably take it till about January to really get out of any type of Scorpio energy activation. Things are so much better though, Scorpio. Things are so much more apt to alignment now than they have been in a long time, based on the effort that you have put in over this last year. My eyes are immediately drawn to Ace of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, even Nine of Wands. In a way, this month can be good for you. I'm just so happy that Ace of Cups is here, though, because that says to me that your energy is coming back. That says to me that the universe is giving you a gift of energy, love, abundance, and just fuel to function with. Ace of Cups has come up for quite a few signs this month, and it has really been a high note for me, as most of the readings have had a bit of darkness. I will say, Scorpio, your reading is actually feeling to me more positive than most of the other signs, so congratulations, you are doing something right. But I know that you still feel a bit of a heaviness, especially at the end of November and moving into December, because we have Mercury retrograding back into your sign. It's retrograding from Sagittarius back into Scorpio. So you probably will see one final activation of the things which have been emphasized in your life during this last year, whether they have felt really positive, negative, healthy, unhealthy. You will see another emphasis of them, but it also feels like that Mercury retrograde energy can actually be positive, because it might scatter things up just enough for things to actually click back into place. So yes, I do feel that 2018 has been a bit of a Rubik's Cube for you, Scorpio. I feel that there have been a lot of puzzles and a lot of formulas which have been difficult to solve. That's why I like this Queen of Swords energy coming in for you too, because we're solving the formula here. And I truly feel that December can be the click into alignment of the proverbial Rubik's Cube. And I think that it is such a sigh of relief and such an expansion for you to have this type of clicking under such a difficult pretense, because there might be a few pretenses which come forward this month which feel difficult to operate under, or very heavy. I feel like there's a sense of heavy-heartedness, like labored breathing, and this has been a thing for you all of 2018, I know, because you've had so much weight in your sign with Jupiter there. And you had Saturn in 2014 and 15, you had a Saturn retrograde, a Mars retrograde, a Venus retrograde, a Jupiter retrograde, and now a Mercury retrograde. 5 planets retrograding through your sign over the last 4 years. And that's a lot to handle. So if your chest is feeling heavy, if your limbs feel heavy, why wouldn't they, But you're, through surviving this time, coming into a sense of alignment that you've not had for a long time. So you're gonna have such a sigh of relief and such a sense of lightness and such a sense of ease come in, if you want it to, by about January. We do still have to get through December, I will say that. But December, by comparison, feels so much easier than what we've been going through for a long time. It is okay to let yourself thrive this month, Scorpio. It's okay to take a bit of time back, actually, to see what your body thinks of what you're doing, basically. So if you have a job that has been over-consuming you, it's okay to work less hours this month. Don't worry about money. That's going to be fine. It's okay to get distance away from the relationships which you feel are also consuming you, because you need to see how your body activates under different pretenses, is the message that I'm hearing. So don't be afraid, again, to work less hours, to have a bit more time away from people. Not even necessarily having time in solitude per se. I mean, that's okay too. Meditation, solitude, stillness, and silence will be important this month, but it's not about that. It's about seeing the difference between that and this odd sense of connection that you have had over the last year. I feel that this is a wonderful month for dreaming for Scorpio. Your dreams kind of fell through, I feel like, over 2018, and you had to face something that you didn't expect over this entire year, and it dominated a lot more of that time than you expected. And now, through resolving it here and now and reconciling the trauma that that represented for you, you find new space to dream once more. And I will say, on a more mundane level, it does feel like for those of you who have made career or creative projects or entrepreneurial endeavors sort of one of the main goals of your life, something has to kind of change up about it. I feel such a easier sense of breathing and comfort when I sort of delve into the energy of Scorpio changing up their business model a little bit, or finding different sources of income, doing something that doesn't take so much from you. It feels like you really, perhaps in some ways, became too focused on success and too focused on revenue, too focused on seeing that you can elicit a result from the universe. Because again, like during that Saturn time in 2014, 15, and 16, you saw, okay, I don't feel potent. I don't feel like I have an effect. I don't feel like I have control in my life. And then, when Jupiter came into your sign, and even like during the time of Saturn and Sag, you started to see like, wow, I have power. It's not quite what I want yet, but I have the power to generate, people, money, career, whatever it is that I feel like I need. But then you saw in 2018, like with Jupiter moving in, like, oh my gosh, I've gone overboard. I've pushed this too far. I've demanded too much of myself. And that's when, illness, discomfort, dis-ease comes into your life. And I know that a lot of you have been just working with health as well. I know that I have as a Scorpio. My health really became front and center this year, and I learned that I was really overdoing my energy a lot, as I do work in energy. Energy is indeed my field, and I definitely pushed a little bit too hard. But the beauty, I feel, of December is that you can change the formula. You can find a new way of marketing or a new way of expressing the authentic desire for a result, to see the answer to the equation, or to see yourself be able to profit, or to be able to have the relationship, to be able to have these things. You can see it really come to a new level if you can trust that by making it more authentic, it will be more sellable, or it will be more offerable or more desirable by other people, okay? Because it's not even that you want money. It's not that you want money. It's not really even that you want other people. It's not that you want the house or the car or any of those things. Maybe you do, and everybody has wants and desires, but it's truly that you want to feel able. You want to feel like you have the potency to get those things. So definitely seeing that sort of liaison energy of, okay, is it really about the thing, or is it about proving something to myself? Because Scorpio can be ambitious to a fault. And when you stick in that mode for too long, you definitely wind up in Nine of Wands territory, and it is the center theme of your reading this month. So, maybe not a time to like quit anything, not a time to stop, but also not a time to push yourself too hard. Like I said, you're coming to the finish line. You're coming to a sense of rest and a sense of stillness, but you can't push too hard now, and you also can't stop. And it feels that the perfect answer is to continue outputting energy toward what you love in a new strategic way that yields a result in an even better way. Okay, so getting creative with yourself. A lot of creative energy coming in for you. I just love the Ace of Cups. I love the Nine of Pentacles, two of my favorite cards in the tarot, two of my most enjoyable cards to go through. So that second week of December, Scorpio, is a launching pad for you into a sense of comfort, health, wisdom, clarity, and lack of fear. I absolutely love that, but we'll get there when we get there. What December is not good for Scorpio? You have that Six of Wands reversed. You have that Four of Pentacles reversed. That Page of Cups reversed. Not a great time to doubt your confidence or to doubt your hold over someone. Like, oh my gosh, I'm being cheated on, or oh my gosh, someone's going to take my love away from me. Not a great time for that. You're scared that by not fearing that now, you'll be surprised later, because Scorpio gets really freaked out when it gets taken off guard. And it's so important for every Scorpio to see how you reject the people that you love when you don't feel you have the confidence to retain them. I've talked about this for all of the water signs this month, about like what you reject and what you retain. as that is an emphasis for you, perhaps less so even than Cancer and Pisces, but it's there. No doubt it's there. I have a video coming soon. It may be out by now. I'm not sure, called Rejection is Protection, and I'll link that in the top right-hand corner and below if I have it out by now. But basically, you have to understand that what you reject right now or what you fear right now ultimately speaks to what you're not ready for. So if you're in a relationship and you're like fearful that that person is taking advantage of you, or you're fearful that you're just going to end up being hurt, you're not ready for it. You're not ready for the relationship, or you're not ready to connect, and you're not ready to trust, And the thing is though that you are ready. You are ready, but for some reason you're keyed into a cycle of taking from yourself in order to feel that you can receive once more. You're like, oh my gosh, I have too much in my life. That means that the universe will give me no more. I must sacrifice to receive now. That kind of happened for you a while back. And because a while back you were pulling in things that were bad for you, and it's not that they needed to be sacrificed, there just needed to be a realization that they were bad for you and to turn in direction, going the opposite way. But you kind of held on to them with too firm of a grasp, and then the universe had to make you sacrifice it, or perhaps protected you. Rejection is protection. Maybe you got rejected, or you rejected them, and you're like, oh, why do I have to sacrifice so much in my life? Why am I so taken from? When in reality, that was a huge blessing for you. I want you to think back, Scorpio. I want you to think back to some of those past situations that you struggled so much to cope with upon the loss of them. And I want you to see how, if you were still there, how perhaps things could really be much more turbulent than they are now for you. The universe really guides you with a beautiful protective light in this type of incarnation. I feel that Scorpio is one of the most guided and instinctual signs from the universe right now. So whatever your instincts have been over this last year, Scorpio, you have to follow them. The only difficult karma that comes for you during this time is as a result of not having trusted your instincts over the last year. And I know, Scorpio, we're kind of all over the place. We're jumping around a lot of different messages, but we'll tie it all together, I promise. And I'm kind of like, I got to get out of my ego for this part as well, because I struggled with that too, Scorpio. I actually did not trust my instincts about something earlier this year with Jupiter and Scorpio, and I saw a lot of difficult results on account of that. Like, who's with me? Comment below. Like, who has seen how trusting our instincts and choosing not to trust our instincts earlier this year backfired? But the lovely thing about Jupiter energy is that it's never really bad, and it's never really going to betray you, and it's never really too late with a Jupiter transit. So now you can trust your instincts. You can choose to redo that and have the sense of connected intuition and instinct and resolve to manifest that into your life here and now, and you truly thrive so much. Last intuitive message before we get into the week to week. Please allow your grasp to become looser in this month, Scorpio. You've had such a tight draw on needing certain things and needing certain feelings and needing certain atmospheres around you, and what it's done is it's pressurized your environment so intensely that reflects inward, and you find so much sources of pressure. You find so many sources of angst because of your perhaps almost uncompromising and unrealizable needs over the last 2 years. And what makes it unrealizable, or what makes it undoable sometimes, is how subtle and how simple it actually is. A lot of you just want a sense of peace and quiet and harmony in your environment, and like clean sheets on your bed, and you just want like a nice wash on the walls, and to just like lay back with like a nice cup of tea and feel a sense of wholesomeness and harmony. And for some reason that became like almost too much to accomplish or something, and that became really difficult. And it's just because of how much you needed it. It's because of how much you felt like people wouldn't give it to you or something. There's something about fearing that other people cannot ever see you be what you want to be, And yes, for some of you that runs deeper, for like issues of sexuality or issues of truth, issues of monogamy, there are like all of these kind of deep-seated psychosexual experiences that did get quite smoothed and neutralized in a way, but also received new peaks and valleys. And sorry, I'm just channeling a weird type of universal message. There was a lot of emphasis placed onto old psychosexual experiences, and for some of you perhaps that happened all unconsciously, and it came out in weird types of physical manifestations, like I've got to like sit and have my tea, or I've got to drive around and have my coffee, or I've got to do these weird like type of neurotic things, like dancing through the hallways at night, which isn't bad. Again, as I said in my Jupiter and Sagittarius, like off to the races, prepare your dressing kimono, psychic messages video, top right hand corner. We are embracing eccentricity here. We are embracing enjoyment and love of the eclectic and eccentric, but that almost became like a compulsive reality for you, and now it's time for that to slip into more of a spontaneous and enjoyable thing versus something that you're scared of not having. And another thing is when you're so grasping, like when you need so terribly for people to adhere to what your vision of love is or what your vision of comfort is, and it's so intensely formulaically exacting, like there's not much wiggle room, you lose any sense of emotional vulnerability in your relationships. That Page of Cups in reverse with Four of Pentacles reversed says to me that holding on too tightly in a completely uncompromising way makes you seem unrelatable and makes you seem like people don't want to tell their truth to you or don't want to be in their honesty with you. And honesty has been such a huge thing for you. You want honesty, like honesty and transparency for Scorpio is one of the most vital aspects of their life. But people don't necessarily want to give it to you when you're holding so firmly to things which don't determine their happiness, and things which don't support their sense of honesty and their sense of truth. You can't demand for your loved ones to have a sense of truth with you when what you demand does not allow them to live in their truth. You know what I mean? And it's a great time for those conversations in relationships. Like, what are our truths? For those of you who are in relationships, December is the perfect, I wanted to say battleground, but the perfect environment and atmosphere to have vulnerable, honest conversations with people and figure out, okay, is this right for us? Like, do we need to be here? And most of you are going to figure out, yes, we need to be here. This relationship is helping us grow so much. But then there's also quite a few of you who are in relationships that should have ended long ago. And I wouldn't usually say it, but this is the type of energy where you can see a breakup. It truly is. We don't have Tower, we don't have Ten of Swords, we don't have Death, we don't have World, but there's just something about it to me that says things which are pulling us down or things which disconnect us, things which cannot actually harmonize without a sense of truth and honesty, simply fall away here and do not have enough fear, trauma, and negativity to feed off of to continue existing. So you can see, Scorpio, yes, through getting an optimistic flair, through rising from the ashes, through embracing humor and eccentricity spontaneously once more, that you can no longer support negative relationships and relationships with people who don't want to have honesty with you or don't truly want to be with you for you. They only want to be with you for how you make them feel. Relationships that have nothing to do with you. You will see that through rising up above this grasp and above this fear and above this resentment and avoidance, that those things fall away. Don't regret that. Don't hurt over that. Mourn and grieve for whatever you have to and allow that healthy process to come through, but don't get at yourself for the things that fall away during this time, because rejection is protection right now, and whatever falls away is a protection from the universe. And for my lovely arachnids out there who are in like nice relationships and you've been working all year, or you've been really connecting in a beautiful and wonderful way, solving problems. No one's been able to have a perfect relationship this year. That went out in about 2012 and probably will not come back in until about 2025. Oh, I hate to say that, but that's what's channeling through. But it's okay. Like, it's getting better. We're getting closer and closer to being able to have like better, more healthy relationships. But you truly can take your relationships to the next level. You truly can thrive with somebody and love somebody wholesomely if the relationship is healthy and if the relationship can compromise and embrace honesty and transparency, and for that honesty and transparency to be within the value scope of both individuals. Oh my God, you can have such an incredible bond like you have never had before. It is true and it is beautiful and it is something that you should rejoice in, for those of you who are being able to take that relationship to the next level. For those of you who are single, new relationships coming in. Oh my God, you're so magnetic. Ace of Cups and Nine of Pentacles together, you are a hot commodity to people on the market. So you will be pursued by many, I feel. And for those of you who feel a little bit less pursued right now, it's just because you need more fuel. You need more energy. You don't have enough energy to support someone, and that's a beautiful place to be sometimes, because that process of giving to yourself once more will feel so healing. So it's really every type of Scorpio right now, single, coupled, broken up, curious, all of that type of stuff. All of y'all can thrive, and all of y'all can find the best end of the stick here, as long as you can relinquish a grasp to construct a very sharp reality to be exactly what you need and want right then, because that changes so much for you, Scorpio. So when that gets set into place, you just get mad about things anyway. Comment below if I'm right. Like this video if I'm right. And on that comedically honest note, Scorpio, I'm going to go ahead and get into your week to week. In the first week of December 2018, you have the Queen of Swords rooted down by a Knight of Pentacles. This week is kind of all about other people. Some of you could be visiting loved ones. Some of you could be seeing people who you haven't seen in a while, or connecting with people in a way that you haven't connected with them in a while. I love the sort of click that I'm feeling as I jump into that energy. Like, it's already easier for me to articulate. It's easier for me to give the messages which are coming forward, which says to me that your mind is getting clearer during that time. It says to me that this sort of like brain fog of the Jupiter-Neptune trines that we've had over this year is starting to subside there, and you're starting to feel a sense of substance, or substance and sustenance. It's both of those, and it came through in the same word. You're feeling a sense of substance and sustenance in that week, so eat well, consume positive or healing modalities right now. Don't consume things which hurt you. So beware of drinking too much. Beware of substances which cause pain. Beware of even media that reinforces a sense of resentment, because that will be all that you can articulate. What you consume will be what you articulate during that period of time. And what you articulate thoroughly develops the people around you. So what you're saying during this time, Scorpio, will become quite physically manifested in new people coming in new people manifesting. You pull up someone online or something, and you're like, I hate this person. This person really causes problems. This person is someone who I would never want to be. You will see manifestations of that type of person, along with this sort of like jaunt toward putting other people down, emerge into your life. And perhaps that's really good for you. But at the same time, is that truly where you want to see yourself? Because weirdly enough, things can stick, and maybe it's fun. Maybe it's fun to like flirt with that for a little while, and maybe it's not even a big problem to flirt with that for a little while. But is this need to not see others happy, or to not see other people succeeding, when perhaps even in their mind they feel that they are, to kind of like take that away from them in your own mind? Is that something that you want to have for the next 30 years? Is that something that you want to see people doing to you for the next 30 years? I don't think that it is. We all have phases as people, but Scorpio, over this last year of Jupiter in Scorpio, you should have kind of gotten a type of benefic person into your life, or benefic experience where you saw, this need to see other people not doing well. Is that something that sees me good, Because it feels like a bit of a compulsion for you, and it feels like maybe new people have come into your life who want to have that with you and kind of reinforce that, and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember when I used to be this way, and I kind of want to be that again, but is it right? It's not about positivity or negativity, and I know I've lost some of y'all, I feel it, but we're just dealing with how we choose to see our world, to see the people around us, and what template we put into place with that. So oftentimes when you have a template in place of seeing other people as bad or inferior, you set up a template as well for your job to see you as bad or inferior, or for your significant other to see you as bad or inferior. It's like that template emerges in other sectors. And it's not just like attracts like, because the answer is not always also to just treat everybody with abundant positivity at all times. There is a balance, but at what point in time is it a compulsion, either way, to like just be positive or to just be negative? It's kind of hard to articulate, and I might have to revisit that concept later. But basically, in the first week of December, Scorpios, don't be afraid to just feel how you feel. And don't try to avoid how you truly feel about things by needing to feel a certain way, if that makes sense, because you're solving the formula there. Queen of Swords, I love it for you. Being in Queen of Swords, you're getting your mental strength back. You're getting your articulate nature back. Things are quicker. You can get through the workday quicker and easier. And also starting to make more money, having plans to make more money, strategizing about business plans in the future. Really beautiful energy there. In the second week of December, Scorpio, this is the nice part. 9 of Pentacles rooted down by Ace of Cups. Just absolutely beaming, pleasurable, easy energy, easiness. Allow yourself a bit of a riposte there, Scorpio. I feel allow yourself a hiatus, perhaps a vacation, not a vacation that you have to work hard for. You know, it's really not the best time to like fly off to the Bahamas or something and relax, because that's more of a job than you would realize. Like allow yourself like a vacation at home or something that is easy. You know, you're not working to be away. It would be a wonderful time to plant flowers or to bring greenery into your house. You know, it's December, so for most of us, it's not really a time to plant seeds, but bring a sense of life into your home. A great time to get a pet, a great time to start a new relationship, a great time to relate to who you're with in a way that really takes things to the next level, and to just thrive in whatever situation you've built, to fall back into the arms of the universe, to fall back into the arms of what you already have. This isn't about taking the credit card and going to get whatever you want to have a sense of belonging in something new. This is being lovely supported by what you already have and what you perhaps could never see in such a beautiful light before that you've already had. Fall in love during this week. Fall in love with something. I'm begging you, Scorpios. You have to prove yourself that you can love. If there's something to prove, and I don't like it when any sign tries to prove something to themselves, because it usually brings with it a can of worms. But if there were something to prove to yourself, Scorpio, it's not that you can lose the weight. It's not that you can have the loyal relationship. It's not that you can seduce that person in that way. It is that you can love. Okay, and I want you to take that to heart. How can I love right now? And how can I love what I have developed? And how can I show myself love in new ways? Have I shown myself love over this last year? In a lot of ways you have, Scorpio, but there's something there. There's something about how you've voiced love to yourself or how you've accepted love into your life that has taken from you this year. And this is the week where you fix that, not by trying to fix it, but by embracing love wholeheartedly and by embracing care and abundance and prosperity. 9 of Pentacles to me is prosperity. So a lot of you get a huge paycheck there, or a lot of you find the idea that gets the huge paycheck in the future by finding love, okay? By finding a sense of completion. Because when we can't retain money, or we can't retain principles, or we can't follow through on what we want, it very much makes me think of 6 of Swords energy. So the issue is that there's something incomplete or broken about the structure with which you're operating. And love to me always solves those breaks in boundary. You know, you have all of your water in a cup, but there's like a hole in it. Like there's a lack of love somewhere and it all drains out. All of your liquidity is gone. So really starting to bandage where the tears in your own self-love exist is the key to thriving once more in this energy. And it's so easy. It's so second nature for you there. So embrace that. Week number 3, you have the 6 of Wands reversed, rooted down by Page of Pentacles. I'm liking all of this Pentacles court card and cards in general. You know, the 4, the 9, the Knight, and the Page. I want you to trust in your new ideas towards foraging a new sense of material identity right now. It's so good. It's so good. These new business ideas. Some of you are like, I want to sell this in a new way. I want to take this market on. I want to try this sector of employment. I want to try to finally do the album or the book or the course or whatever it is. And they are successful foresights right now. They are successful foreshadowings for you, and it's beautiful. It's not time yet, though. Okay, that's the hard thing, is now is the time to find self-love. Now is the time to find a sense of ease and a time to dream, not necessarily a time to throw everything into motion, unless it's been something that you've been working on for a long time and you've had it set in stone for a long time. Not a good time to impulsively just generate, though, I will say. You probably had a bit of thing like back in like January to March of 2018 where you saw this same type of thing and you're like, yeah, I'm getting out the credit card and I'm going to do it all right now, you know. This is a time to dream, and by March 2019, throughout this January, February, March, you're building up to the generation and development of this incredible energy. Okay, Scorpios, so allow yourself to dream right now. Don't hold yourself back by thinking, oh my God, Sky said I can't do it now, but just really put things into an effort and into a template and guideline to where you can have it, because you can have it very soon. Another thing for the 3rd week, what's the issue with the confidence? Is your skin not feeling well? Like, do you feel like your hair looks bad? Is it the dark circles? Are you feeling overweight? There's something about your appearance that you're not trusting, and that has actually held you back for a lot of 2018. Again, that we're dealing with self-love here. I don't look good enough to be presented in this way or that way. That needs to fall away here now as well, and you need to no longer fear your own projection as a person. You know, I don't look good enough to have loyalty in a relationship. I don't look good enough to not be cheated on. I don't make enough money to have a marriage. You know, I can't afford the house that I want. Therefore, I'm never going to have a sense of home and peace. Those types of things must fall away as you already have those things, Scorpio. You do in some way. And it's going to be important to counteract those thoughts with look at what I have and look at what I can have. Because a lot of Scorpios have made so much progress over the last year. You've either saved a lot of money, or you've really upped your health, or you have transformed your appearance. There's been some kind of incredible blessing that you've emerged with, but now you have it and you see like, ooh, I have this now, but I'm scared of letting it go. Like you for some of you, you've saved like millions of dollars or something. And you're like, ooh, I'm scared to spend that now because I don't want to lose it all. So like you never really spend it. Four of Pentacles reversed says to me, as we're moving into the fourth week with that, rooted down by Page of Cups reversed, you can spend a little bit on yourself here. Not too much, but you're grasping too tightly perhaps onto your financial abundance or what you have gained, whether that be finances, relationships, health. You're kind of scared to like take the training wheels off is what that energy feels like to me. You're afraid to take a leap of faith. You're afraid to take the training wheels off. You're afraid to sign the lease or to do what it is. I'm not saying to go and spend everything that you have, but don't be afraid to get necessities. Again, Four of Pentacles is very much a necessity energy. So no, not a good time to buy frivolously. Maybe you can later this year, but the things that you need, Scorpio, don't be afraid to write those checks. Okay, I've got to say, do not continue taking from yourself just to save or to hold back, and really apply that to all the sectors. And the fourth week of December does to me feel like the only week where things can go just a smidge wrong. It's not bad. It's not going to be like anything terrible, but you're dealing with how you express your emotions there too. I mean, truly, even more than like money or physical things. Yeah, I just got a huge download there. Because Four of Pentacles, if you look at that image, you guys feel that, don't you? You know that feeling you get in your solar plexus and in your stomach when you want to say something, you want to tell someone how you feel, but you're afraid that that will create discord. So you don't do it, and the feeling just rushes through your body, and you get angry. Then things start falling through. You start feeling sick. You start feeling like worst case scenarios are numerous. That has to have a solution really quickly. It really does. It can go till about the end of January. And for a lot of you, you'll feel a remnant of it, I want to say, or an echo of it, because when those cycles become habitual, the entire nervous system, adrenal system, endocrine system gets keyed into it as a cycle. So even if you completely solve everything in your life, nothing will feel easy until you can sort of reprogram yourself. I need to do a specific video about that. But basically, how do you reprogram yourself? You look around and you see, okay, this is what's around me. Why does this have to be hard? Why am I making this hard on myself? Am I just trying to fuel myself in a new way? Why don't I eat? Why don't I drink enough water? And why do I need to fuel myself with my adrenal system? And it solves, and you sort of realize, okay, it's just a matter of eating more. It's just a matter of following through on what my needs are and not prioritizing the needs of others. It's time to truth my speak. It's time to speak my truth and like say things properly now, and to tell people what I need, what I need from them and what I need from myself. And those types of concepts are what solve that. I'll make a specific video on like reprogramming difficult nervous system habits. That's a deep one, but and I need that too. Like I need to channel that in for myself because that's been something that I've been dealing with. But yeah, you might feel remnants and echoes of that through January, but you need to kind of solve it by the fourth week of December. And you'll learn in the second week how to solve that. You'll learn in that beautiful, beautiful second week how to solve that. Fourth week, it gets solved. Throughout January, you feel echoes. And then by February and March, you step into a new sense of health and abundance. It's really beautiful. And I've kind of like given you almost like 3 months worth of reading in a way, but not too much. But that's just the cycle that you're working with right now. And with Nine of Wands as your central theme, Scorpio, I'm actually not mad at it. I'm not upset for that. I usually would not care for that, but this has been a long time coming for you. You have worked hard to actually get where you are right now, and you're seeing your entire past in a different way. You know, maybe you're looking back at pictures of yourself or your loved ones from the past and seeing, wow, I was actually very ill then and I never knew it. Or you're looking back and you're saying, wow, I really thought that situation was going to nurture me, but at the time of thinking that, I was being completely betrayed and completely stepped on. And I knew that. I saw that it wasn't that it was being hidden from me, but I could not accept that that's what was happening. And that can hurt, that can sometimes even make you want to take from yourself now and punish yourself now. You're challenged not to do that. You're challenged to face yourself in love and realize, okay, that was just me trying to find a new sense of fuel. And perhaps that was me trying to find motivation in a way. And is that such a terrible sin? It is and it is and it isn't. But you see it now, and you see it now for what it is, and that's really such a healing thing one way or another. The worst case scenario would to still be in denial about something like that and to continue in it. But none of you will. Even if you continue the marriage, which has been difficult, you're not going to continue in it without a sense of the truth. And that's really the most important thing. And, again, Nine of Wands, it's like I'm almost at the finish line. I'm hobbling out, I'm recovering. I've sort of had the time in solitude. I've had the time in bed, and now I'm taking my first steps. I'm preparing perhaps once more to have a leap of faith, but it's not quite time yet. Not quite time for that leap of faith, but it does come soon. And it just also puts a sense of slowness on the entire energies as well. Nine of Wands is antithetical augmentation to the other energies present. So what that means is that all of the energies take on a new slowness and take on a new sense of, it's not fast paced, and it doesn't need to be. Don't make yourself go too fast. What it basically means is to pace yourself through these things going on. Watch out for sudden bursts of energy. You really need neutral energy lines right now. You need paced senses of energy, and it's okay to have fun, it's okay to get excited, but there's so much pressure in your body right now that just suddenly going into a burst of energy really quickly can lead you to feel faint or lead you to feel a little bit sallow or something. So don't get up too quickly, or don't get too crazy. You can later, through the healing now, you can later have these bursts of energy throughout Jupiter and Sagittarius, but you just have to heal a little bit from Jupiter and Scorpio. We're still only at 0 and 1 degree of Jupiter and Sagittarius, so this is a time of coming to terms with what's happened over the last year, coming to terms with your new reality, healing from what happened, so you can jump into health and you can jump into prosperity in the future. Okay, Scorpios, it is a beautiful reading. It is a beautiful, beautiful energy. Probably the most healthy reading that I've done for you this entire year. I know it probably doesn't feel that way, but there's so much more potential and so much more abundance and prosperity to be breathed in for you right now. And you're protected. You're so protected during this time. Don't worry too much about things. If you guys didn't have the chance to subscribe to my channel yet, I would so appreciate that. Turn the bell icon on so you get notified when I post or do premieres or whatever it is. And also, if you haven't had the chance to check out my Jupiter Strong products, I think that they would be such a good fit for you guys, because Jupiter is now strongly placed, perhaps unlike it was over the last year, but it's back home, it's back in Sagittarius, and I have shirts, phone cases, stickers, all sorts of fun stuff. And why I like it is because it's a tangible visual reminder that Jupiter is good. We have a strong Jupiter. We can all be lucky, abundant, and prosperous in our realities. And it's just sort of again, that visual psychological reminder that things can be easy even if you're having a bit of a difficult time. The shirts are so soft, I just want to sleep in them all day. I was pleasantly surprised with the quality of how they turned out. I fought for low prices, and I think that similar things would be much more expensive. So I have a discount code, SOSKY, for 12% off throughout the rest of this year. Do some holiday shopping for yourself. You can also check the description box below. I have useful links if you're curious about the equipment that I use. Also, if you'd like to reach out to me on social media, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I post updates. You can get to know me. You can also, on Twitter, I love my Twitter page. I need more people there because it's one of my favorite things to do is to just tweet about some of the energies coming through. And it's a quick way. And, YouTube is such a time-consuming process that I like Twitter because it's so quick and easy. But yes, so I have the social media. I have a Patreon page as well. All sorts of things to really jump into your spiritual, psychosomatic experience, and lots of opportunities to thrive in that. But I know that money's tough for some people. Just a subscribe and a like is all that I ask, really, for this. It's a great way to show your love. And much love, Scorpios. I don't know what I would do without you. From one Scorpio to the next. Let's thrive during this time. Let's enjoy these new ideas, these new concepts, and this new sense of protection and well-being. Much love, Scorpios. We'll be talking soon. Bye.